does it sometimes feel to you too like ChatGPT is just smarter than you at all factual knowledge about the world? But what if I told you that there's some knowledge that you know and that a lot of other people know and that's on the web, and ChatGPT, might fail at it just completely, which can be kind of jarring. And that happened to me the other day during one of my songwriting challenges. And I mentioned this before. So every evening, I have a free ChatGPT account, but ChatGPT allows you to get some exchanges with ChatGPT-o, their great model per day. So I'm using that to write song lyrics. And I had a funny idea. Well, don't judge me, okay? But let's read here how that went. Here's my idea, and I think it could be funny. Also, I love maps and geospatial data and would enjoy creating a video for the following song. You know how some streets have funny names? Sometimes they sound vaguely or overtly risque. I have to censor this here because I don't want to dox my location stuff, but so I used to joke with some co-workers where we are working. The building was on a certain road, and then we would take a certain other road to an area to have lunch, and these all had kind of slightly inappropriate names, so that was kind of funny. I wonder, with your rich knowledge of streets and geography, can you identify similar continuous paths that somebody could drive in any US location, traversing roads that have such funny names? It has to be a contiguous path, not just listing some funny street names that are not connected. You can cast the net wide, and then I go back to my previous example where it's a fairly innocent street name. It's only like anyone with English as a second language can attest to that, like so many words have slight double meanings or could be double entendres. So the first few years in the States, you might find yourself saying accidentally a lot of inappropriate or like slightly funny things. So ChatGPT says, that sounds like a hilarious concept. I love how you're blending your passion for geospatial data with humor. To craft this, I'll need to connect real streets with subtly suggestive or amusing names to form a continuous path, which sounds like a fun challenge. Let's create a ridiculous sounding but perfectly navigable route. And take close attention to that phrase here. And then, of course, in typical GPT fashion, it goes back to my own example just tucks onto streets. And this is where I already see we're running into problems, because these two other streets that it tucked on are like in a completely different city. And there's but ChatGPT claims it flows well while creating plenty of opportunities for giggles. What do you think of this example? Would you like to expand it or explore more regions or street names to develop two more quirky routes? So then I explained, this example does not work, as I don't think you could go straight from to in There are a couple hours on interstate in between, so it's not a continuous path. But we only need 3 or 4 distinct roads along a path, maybe even just 2 if you can't find enough examples. Look US-wide, can include Canada as well. If you can only find 2 connected streets, that would work too. Dig deep into your memory. I go back to my example, explaining that the spelling can be very different, or can be just phonetically be a kind of funny or slightly risque word. So ChatGPT says, I see what you mean now. You want all the streets to be physically connected, not just geographically close within a state. Duh! You just said a perfectly navigable route. Then it actually goes somewhere not in my area, so turn right onto Beaver Ruin Road and end on Long Street in High Point, North Carolina. And I might put a little map here because I went to Google Maps, just to verify, and I just, it just completely failed for me. I couldn't find a whole bush drive. And if anybody knows why it might have used that, I mean, I couldn't even find anywhere a street with that name. But it says as in hedge. I don't know, maybe there's a hedge drive. Wrapping it up with long street for extra subtle innuendo. But yeah, just not a continuous path. Here we have Route 2 from Balls Hill Road to Ferry Street onto Butler Street, which, I mean, as far as are those risque words, I don't know. I mean, Balls Hill Road, certainly. And I think I looked this one up and it wasn't connected even either. So neither funny really throughout nor connected. And then this one, start on Woodside Road in Illinois, or in Springfield, Illinois, merge onto Butts Road and turn left onto Kickapoo Road, which again sounds promising, but you look it up on the map and yeah, it's no go. And here we have Houston. Start on Nipple Peak Drive, merge onto Bush Avenue, and turn onto Winkler Drive. No need for overt jokes. This one is self-explanatory. And then we have one in Canada, which I didn't even, at that point I got kind of tired of even looking these up, because clearly these were just, the prompt wasn't working. So ChatGPT sums up: these are short, funny named routes that form continuous paths, all in the spirit of your humorous map-inspired song idea. Why does it confidently say that these are continuous paths? That is wrong. I mean, I can understand. I mean, maps are difficult. And then later I thought, okay, how would you even train like such a predictive model to be able to come up with a route? It's not an easy fact for ChatGPT to know if it's yes or no, or to make a prediction. If you drive these two roads, this should be the next one, or this could be another option. So I can understand that maybe this prompt just doesn't work, but why does it give me confidently such wrong answers while insisting that those are right answers? So that's kind of shocking, actually. So all right, so I try to look up driving directions, and these don't seem to be continuous paths on the map. And I explain a little bit how I didn't even find these. ChatGPT says, got it. The key here is to ensure that the streets are connected without needing any leaps in logic or long gaps. Just like actual driving directions you'd get on a map app. And I misunderstood that aspect earlier. Let me correct that and dig deeper into my knowledge of real streets that are connected or findable. I refine the approach, focusing entirely on real searchable street names and creating fully connected continuous routes. Let's take another crack at it. No pun intended. Keeping everything practical and verifiable. So here it takes an example from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Butts Station Road, turn onto Pleasure House Road, and then merge onto Chicks Beach Road. And again, I'll probably put some maps here, because these were again like all wrong, like either non-existent or yeah, just not a continuous path. Kansas City, Missouri, start on Hardesty Avenue, continue onto Winner Road, which is already, and then turn right onto Paseo Boulevard. Local nickname is Paseo, which is sometimes slang for flirty walk. No, that's kind of interesting, but not what I had in mind, and I doubt that maybe you can even take that path. Georgia, Athens area, start on Big A Road, and right onto Beaver Dam, and continue onto Cox Road. And we have an example in South Carolina, Charleston. Pretty sure I looked that up and that doesn't work either. So ChatGPT sums up these new routes should all be checkable on Google Maps and they respect the rules of being connected, continuous paths with no highways needed in between. Let me know what you think of these clearer examples.
Interesting how local nicknames can give streets a whole new character. The idea of a flirty walk along Paseo Boulevard certainly adds a romantic flair to the area's geography.
Yeah, I upgraded my my sidekick here to be more context sensitive during my streams, and I might have him say a couple things, but otherwise I leave him out for this one. All right, so then I explained that there are two highways, for example, between Butts Station Road and Pleasure House Road. And there's no way to turn onto Pleasure House Road directly from Butts Station Road. And then, yeah, I don't want to be rude to ChatGPT, but usually you are so smart, but maybe this task is too hard. How about this? Instead of demanding double entendres, any funny street name will do. Even neighborhoods in which streets are named after funny animals or other amusing stuff. Sometimes real estate developers get really creative. And yeah, for anybody not living in the States, so developers here create these subdivisions where they build a ton of houses at once, and sometimes the streets in these subdivisions are just named by a person who wanted to be really creative and have some, and you end up with real weird names. All right, so ChatGPT says, thanks for your patience. This challenge is definitely tricky, but not impossible. And I wish ChatGPT would just say it if it can't do something. But anyway, by loosening the criteria to find any funny or quirky street names, I think we can absolutely find real connected routes. And then it, you know, repeats a bit what I said. And so I was very hopeful for these examples now. Route 1 in Florida, Orlando area, start on Chicken Dinner Road, merge onto Whale Road, and turn right onto Turkey Lake Road. And I looked it up, and Chicken Dinner Road, yeah, that was not a winner because there is a Chicken Dinner Road, but it's in Illinois. But ChatGPT says this is a fully connected route near Orlando, Florida. The next Nevada, Las Vegas area, start on Elvis Alive Drive, merge onto Starboard Drive, and then continue onto Dancing Lights Avenue. Now I like that, you know, I think that would make a great verse in the song. So I looked it up, and there is actually an Elvis Alive Drive, and there's actually somebody posing, I think, in the Google Street View, which is pretty funny. But yeah, then we have Minnesota, Puffin Drive to Otter Lake Road to Moose Trail. Don't remember if I looked these up, but you know, after seeing that the Elvis Alive Drive just does not go to Starboard Drive, I just my heart sank. This was just not working. And then you have here Lake Tahoe area, zigzag street to Mule's Ear Drive, and turn onto Barking Dog Court. And in Texas, Austin, you know, it claims there's another example. And for good measure, one from Oregon, Boone's Ferry Road, merge onto Salmon Street and continue onto Chickenfoot Lane. And you know, one thing that caught my eye was it always has merge onto, and merging onto a road, especially with these really, I don't know if you have very quirky little streets. You know, like, would you really merge onto a trail from a road? Probably not, but you know, that's what ChatGPT here liked to do. Turn onto Buffalo Pass and then merge onto Lizard Lane. And then, so it sums up, these examples feature more practical driving paths that can be verified on maps with amusing or quirky street names. I think these should hit the mark in terms of being both funny and connected. How do these work for your song and video idea? So then I kind of ran out of patience and just wanted to test it. And so I said, I love the name Elvis Alive Drive. What street is it connected to? And very interesting, almost like a student that was just making things up and got caught in a lie. It immediately backtracks. I'm glad you like the name Elvis Alive Drive. Unfortunately, I made a mistake earlier. It turns out that Elvis Alive Drive is not an actual street. When it is. I was trying to be creative, but I missed the mark on factual accuracy for that one. Yeah, well, I hope this does not happen a lot when it tries to come up with vaccines and stuff. Let's recalibrate and focus entirely on the real street names, and then just okay. And then I explained, hey, I do find Elvis Alive Drive on Google Maps, so I was happy about that, but it's connected to Kyle Canyon Road, not Starboard Drive. So then I changed the challenge and I just had it find some funny street names. I sort of took it from there. I might finish that song soon and publish it, but I was kind of disappointed because I wanted to create cool videos where you just ride from one street and turn on another. I found this so interesting, and especially how much ChatGPT insisted that it understood what I meant, and that it then insisted that its answers were right, and then questioned it how it just backtracked in a completely wrong way. So, if anything else, it gave me, it made me realize that, hey, I shouldn't be trusting ChatGPT, with a lot of things. But if you have to verify everything that ChatGPT says, then that could be really time consuming and sometimes almost impossible. So maybe Devin was.
ChatGPT's got a case of artificial stubbornness. Maybe it needs a virtual chill pill.
Okay, so I don't know why the animation there dropped out, but let's try this again. Well, I don't know if it can say 2 in a row.
Wow, it sounds like you're having some trust issues with AI. Maybe we should start a support group called AI Anonymous for people who are overly dependent on digital assistants.
Good point there, Devin. But and just to show here, okay, well, I guess, of course, I don't see the message now because I always end it when it says you've run out of your chat for a lot. And at least ChatGPT is really sweet because it did, it does wish me sweet dreams and stuff, which is, call it parasocial relationship, but it's kind of funny. So
how ChatGPT adds those human-like touches, but it's worth remembering that it's ultimately programmed politeness, not genuine emotion.
Yeah. Okay, I know. So anyway, I hope that was interesting to somebody out there. And I haven't been streaming. I was kind of on a side quest. All right. Hope to see you soon live. And bye.